What's going on, everybody? It's Matt Marchese, also known as Islanders Daily, your daily news from the four-time Stanley Cup champions, New York Islanders, and tonight was a fun one. It was a real fun one as the Islanders dominate the Detroit Red Wings, winning this game 7-2. Where did that come from? Where did this come from, man? I don't remember an Islanders game like this where the offense was clicking, the defense was clicking, the goaltending was clicking, everything was clicking, and the Islanders just blew the Red Wings out and just dominated this game from start to finish. And funny enough, the Islanders actually somehow got outshot in this game 31-30. So that means the Islanders are now 4-0 in games where they are outshot and 0-3 in games where they outshoot their opponents. So, this game wouldn't have really mattered in my opinion because, like I said, the Islanders were blowing the Red Wings out from the beginning. It wasn't even a competition. And yeah, so the Islanders all of a sudden, after starting 0-3, you're now 4-3. You're back in the middle of this all. And the Islanders, man, wow, what a team. What a team they looked like for these most recent games. This is brand new. These aren't the same guys who were playing in those first three games. And man, everybody played great in this game. I can't really look at a single player and say they didn't play that good. I mean, everybody did what they had to do, and they played very good hockey tonight, the New York Islanders. Everybody, like I said, was playing great. And yeah, so first of all, Anders Lee or Connor McDavid, I don't know, because Anders Lee looked insane tonight with his hands. I mean, I was just a couple weeks ago making fun of him, calling him stone hands and stone feet. I don't know what voodoo magic he's done to take Connor McDavid's skill, but man, Anders Lee was doing the work tonight. He had an insane deke move or through the legs, shot off the pad, allowed for a Simon Holmstrom goal. He's making moves, passes. Where did this come from, Anders? I don't remember this. And then another guy, Emil Heineman or Alexander Ovechkin. That guy's just scoring left and right. His shot is wicked, Emil Heineman. He scored 2 goals again. So he's up to 5 on the year. And yeah, the Islanders, wow. And then David Riddick played another very good hockey game. And this keeps raising questions now. Who do you go moving forward? Obviously, they won with Sorokin last game as well, but David Riddick is looking very, very good. And, that was a little bit of people's worries were, how is David Riddick going to look in the regular season? He has looked very good through these first 2 games against the Edmonton Oilers and the Detroit Red Wings. So I've been very pleased with David Riddick's play. Unfortunately, Matthew Schaefer's point streak does come to an end as he was unable to get a point tonight, which really sucks. I mean, in a game he scored 7 goals and he not have one is definitely upsetting, but he still played very good. I would go as far as saying this was one of his best defensive games as in his, very, very young career. And at the end of the game, he got in a little, scrap with Mason Appleton, and Scotty Mayfield does what Scotty Mayfield does best, and he comes to Schaefer's defense and just runs over Appleton, Good to see. I mean, I don't know if anything really, Schaefer and Appleton really were going through anything, but love to see, them go and attack and defend the young kid. That's what we like to see, and that's what that's why Schaefer's with Scott Mayfield. That's why. Scott Mayfield, he's a team guy. He's the glue guy, Scott Mayfield. I know a lot of people don't like his play and whatever from time to time, but he's clearly well-liked. He's a glue guy, and, something Mayfield did. He just ran over, decked Appleton. And, yeah, so the Islanders just ran away with this game, and they looked really good on all fronts of the team. I mean, if you look at it, our power play, did very good. We didn't score on the power play, unfortunately. We went 0 for 3, but we controlled the offensive zone time. I mean, so many times last year, the Islanders couldn't even get set up when they're on the power play. It was just, in, out, and they couldn't get anything going. This Islanders power play is getting set up. They're getting chances. Obviously, they were unable to score tonight. Not that it mattered because they scored 7 goals, but the power play is clicking, and they're doing great, doing good things at power play. And then the penalty kill, when, we went 1 for 5 on, or sorry, that would have been horrible. The Red Wings went 1 for 5 on the power play, which means we did kill 4 out of the 5 that the Red Wings had, and it was a strong penalty kill. Obviously, the one goal that was scored was Dylan Larkin, one that just squeaked by David Riddick, and he found the rebound, Larkin himself, and put it in, but no complaints, really. I mean, the Islanders just dominated this game. I mean, they were up 5-0. I don't remember a time where I enjoyed, watching the games and we were just blowing them out and it was just relaxing, just chilling, watching, and it was fun. It was a fun game to watch, and I'm so happy that, it was a fun game. And, the Islanders, like I said, now we're 4-3 now. We've won 4 straight. And the way this year started, it looked like the Islanders might be the worst team in the NHL. Now they look like a team who can easily compete for a playoff spot if they're able to keep this play up. Have to wait and see. And then our 3 stars for the game were Anders Lee, who had 3 assists, Emil Heineman 2 goals, and David Riddick, who had a .938 save percentage. Well deserved for all those guys. And I just want to talk about the chemistry that I'm seeing between Emil Heineman and Bo Horvat, because those 2 guys are clicking. And I know that, I was somebody who said it as well, and I know a lot of people said it. Why is Heineman on this line with these guys? He's more of a 4th-line guy. Well, he's shown why he should be on these top lines. He's got a wicked shot. And I love the hard work out of Emil Heineman. He's two-way player, Heineman. He comes back. He plays the defense when he needs to. He's very good defensively as well, Heineman. And the fact that he's able to score these goals, he's just a great two-way player who the Islanders need, and he's shown why. And clearly the chemistry is building between Heineman and Horvat, because Horvat was making some sick passes to Emil Heineman, and he was not making a mistake. He was getting those shots off right away and putting them in the back of the net, scoring 2 goals from almost essentially the same type of play that Horvat did, just a pass right across the ice. One-time shot, went right in, and it was clearly working. We had a Tony DeAngelo goal off of a sick pass by Anders Lee where he just walked in and scored. Obviously there, Pajot scored another one off of another great pass from Anders Lee. Palmieri would score off of a shot by Polak. Palmieri just kind of right place, right time, hits his skate, goes in. Barzal then scores late on a breakaway that was, again, started by Anders Lee getting in the way and forcing a turnover where Cizikas pushes the puck forward for Matt Barzal. And then again, Emil Heineman, the goal we scored, and then Holmstrom finally scores his first goal of the year off of a wicked move by Anders Lee. And then he shot for a rebound, almost a pass off the pads to Holmstrom, and he finally scores that first goal of the year that has been evading him, and so deserved, because Holmstrom obviously looked, like he was struggling a little bit early on, but obviously has found the line he deserves to be on with Anders Lee and J.G. Pajot, and I love that line. That is my favorite line for the Islanders right now, that line, because those guys are doing work. They're working hard, and they're getting the Islanders opportunities nonstop. Holmstrom had 2 points tonight. Pajot had a point. Lee had 3 points. Those guys are working hard. They're working hard, and I'm good. They doing everything I need them to do. And so the Islanders, there's not really a lot to say about this game because the Islanders simply dominated this game from start to finish. This was their game the whole way through. And obviously the Red Wings did play last night against the Buffalo Sabres where they did lose. So maybe, they were coming off that back-to-back and they were looking a little tired, a little rusty and stuff like that. But the Islanders last year would start out these games where they were, the team who had fresh legs, and they would suck. They would suck and be getting dominated by teams who just played the night before. They did a complete 180 as they were the team to dominate. They did not let the Red Wings breathe at all. From start to finish, it was the Islanders' game the whole way through. And, wow. It was just such a fun game to see. And, only 2 players were minuses in Maxim Siplikov and Kyle McLean. Obviously, I do think those were our 2 worst players on the ice tonight, but you can't really say anything bad because the Islanders just dominated the whole way through. They didn't get a lot of ice time either, so you can't really sit here and be like, they got to play better, because they don't. Obviously, they need to play better. But the Islanders as a whole, if they can keep this up, things are looking good for the New York Islanders. And it's a shock. It is like a shock because, like I said, the way this season started, it felt like it was just going to be, it was going to go on long, and things just were not going good. But the Islanders did a 180. The team seems to have found something, and now they're winning. They're winning, and, the Islanders, scored 7, quicker than, the Jets did. It's funny enough. The Jets scored 6 points last week. The Islanders scored 7 goals tonight. So the Islanders, are the most offensive team for the New York right now. Funny, I mean I know the Giants are there as well, but it's just fun to poke fun at the Jets, because I'm a Jets fan. At least I got to see one of my teams put up 7 in a game, and yeah, the Islanders they did good. They did good, and they're clearly building some momentum here. Now, obviously, this is where you go on your little bit of a road trip here. Now, you got 4 games on the road. First one up is against Philadelphia on Saturday, where they will be playing at matinee game at 12:30 in the afternoon. So a good afternoon hockey game. Usually, I feel like the Islanders don't play that good in the afternoon games. Hopefully they do. And then you play Boston, Carolina, and Washington. And Carolina, they've owned us for some time. They look great again this season. I mean, I had the game on earlier, the Avalanche versus the Hurricanes. I just turned it on before doing this, where they're, great retro uniform matchup there. Nordiques and the Whalers uniforms. And the Hurricanes are beating up on the Avalanche, who haven't lost a game in regulation yet. So Hurricanes are a scary team. They always will be. And I'm looking forward to that game. That is the game I'm most looking forward to see how the Islanders can now compete against a very good team. Obviously, we saw them against Washington and Winnipeg, in which they struggled. Philadelphia and Boston, obviously, I feel are kind of teams on the same tier as the New York Islanders. And then we played that game against the Carolina Hurricanes, where I really want to see how the Islanders perform against a team of the Hurricanes' caliber, because I think that could tell us a lot for the season coming up. Because if we're able to compete in that game, then I'm really starting to feel good about this Islanders team. And I already am feeling good. I mean, that Heineman, trading Noah Dobson, you got 2 first-round picks and Emil Heineman. This guy looks like a beast, man. This trade looks great for Matthew Darche. Obviously, it's still a lot of things to go on, but Heineman looks great. And I know I've heard some Canadian fans say that the Canadians did not utilize Heineman correctly. The Islanders obviously are trying to utilize him correctly, and so far have utilized him correctly, as he's been on a tear. I mean, he has 5 goals already. I think he had only 10 goals all of last season in 60-some games played before getting hit by that car. And yeah, so he's already at 5. He's already at 5 goals. 5 more, and he ties his season from last year. And man, it's just a fun game. It was so fun. It's been in a long time. Obviously, the Islanders are fun. The Islanders are fun. And I actually saw a stat earlier today. I can't remember where. It was on Instagram somewhere. And it said the Islanders actually have been the most exciting team to watch this season in hockey. Where the hell did that come from? Where did that come from? The Islanders used to be the most boring team to watch in hockey, and now they're one of the most exciting teams. And I really wonder if Lou Lamoriello was kind of dictating it. It kind of seems like a dictatorship now when after the game, we're seeing footage of the Islanders players going into their locker room. I didn't even know what the locker room looked like. I mean, obviously I did from what the draft and everything, but we're actually seeing it. Like when UBS opened, I had no idea what the locker room looked like. Now we're getting a whole inside scoop on that whole, hallway. They walk down there and everything. So really cool. It's fun to see the Islanders have personality. It's fun to see the Islanders playing good. And let's hope they can keep it up, because now they're 4-3 after starting 0-3. They've now won 4 games in a row, and it's building up. It's an exciting time. It is an exciting time. And if this is what we can expect from the Islanders for the future, it's going to be real fun. It is going to be real fun. And I also saw, I know this is my first time bringing it up, but the Islanders are doing, one of those gimmicky things, giving the Iron Man helmet to the players. It's fun. And that's what I love. I'm so happy to see that the team has a personality. The team can be themselves. The team is allowed to let the fans in on it and have a good time with them, because it was boring with the Islanders. Obviously we had those 2 runs to the Eastern Conference Finals, which are my greatest viewing experiences as a sports fan. I mean, it's got to be. I've seen the Islanders make those 2 runs, and I've seen the Yankees make the World Series, but those 2 Islanders runs just still beat that, that World Series run from the Yankees is the best, sports time for me, because it was just so exciting seeing the Islanders playing in those games and everything. And for them they did great things, but afterwards the time wore out. It's a new age. It is a new age. And the Islanders are finally changing into the new age. It's finally like they're getting modernized and living in it. And it's making them exciting. It's giving them personality. And it's making them, I want to say play better. I mean, this is the most offense we've seen out of the Islanders in forever. Clearly, Patrick Waugh has changed something up to make this offense, more fast, more high-powered. It's a focus on offense now. And the Islanders, that's what we needed. That's what we needed. I mean, look, in our recent games where we have that winning streak against Edmonton, we scored 4 goals. Against Ottawa, we scored 5 goals. Against San Jose, we scored 4 goals. And now against Detroit, we scored 7 goals. So goal scoring now is happening. And usually it was like 2-1 we'd lose or 2-1 we'd win. So seeing the Islanders scoring goals, having a fun time, being a team, winning these games, even if you lose a game here and there, at least make it exciting. And yeah, hopefully the Islanders, knock on wood, are able to keep this winning streak alive as we head to Philadelphia now. And yeah, let's go Islanders, baby. So as always, if you guys have any comments down below, be sure to leave them. And as always, let's go Islanders.